Greeting YouTube. Today I'm going to review the movie Blazing Saddles, directed by Mel Brooks. Now, with a cast like Cleavon Little, Gene Wilder, Slim Pickens, Harvey Korman, Madeline Kahn, and Mel Brooks himself, it would really be hard for a film to go wrong, and this film doesn't. I personally think that this is the funniest Western comedy ever made, and one of the better comedies in general ever made. I would easily say that it was in the top 10 best comedies ever filmed. I can't say it's a great Western, because it isn't. For example, the movie I reviewed recently, Rango, was an adventure story that was a Western in and of itself, and it was also a comedy and an homage to Westerns. This is purely a comedy that happens to be using a Western theme. There's a difference there. It's all about lampooning the genre of Westerns and doing it in both a direct and very ribald manner, but also with love. This was filmed in the same sets that other Westerns had been done. A lot of the people involved in these films, the stuntmen are all, traditions from the Western backgrounds and stuff. And it just had a real texture to it that made me feel that, yes, it was making fun of Westerns, but it wasn't doing it out of being mean. It was just because, let's face it, the Western tropes can be pretty silly. The whole concept of a black sheriff in the Old West was kind of strange, and in and of itself, very funny. Not to say that there weren't a lot of African Americans in the Old West. Fully a third of all cowboys were black, and there were two entire cavalry regiments that were black. So they were present. It just was very uncommon to see a black person to be in any form of authority figure, let alone a sheriff. But the acting here was just so wonderfully done. The delivery of these lines was laser sharp. Gene Wilder was on his best. I'm actually not sure if I've seen Cleavon Little in many things besides this film, but if he had only ever done this single film, it would have still gone down in history as one of the greatest, best roles I've ever watched. He really does have that panache to play this character to the hilt. A cultured gentleman that just happened to be a sheriff in the Old West. And of course, Mel Brooks playing Mel Brooks, a number of different characters in the film, where he speaks Yiddish as a Native American chief. Harvey Korman is just a marvel. The way he just pulls himself into a role, you believe that insanity that is spewing from his mouth is really being said by that person. I know that if I were on set with Harvey Korman delivering those lines, I would have been dying constantly. I don't think I would have been able to actually watch the scenes. I'd be laughing in the background, blowing the dialogue, the audio. He's just a very, very funny man. And of course, Madeline Kahn is just wonderful. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's over the top. She's everything that this role needed to be to play Lily von Stupp, which is a great pun, a Yiddish term. Funny is, I've used the word Stupp many times before and after seeing this film. I've actually realized quite recently that I've used quite a few Yiddish words, and I have absolutely no Jewish history whatsoever in my family. But if you like comedies, I cannot recommend Blazing Saddles enough. It is just flat out one of the funniest things that you are ever going to see.